Okay, video 3 for Wordy Wednesday. We are on the split decision, and we were working on what is the value of z in this following equation. So this is just like juxtaposition. 5/9 of z is the same as 225. So I can really do this without any work, which is really the point of these puzzles, is to really use strategies over computation. It's really to kind of logic your way through these things. So 5/9 of z means that z is here, and then I'm only taking this part of it. So if this is z, this part up here is z, and this part is 5/9, that's 225. Z has to be bigger than 225, because if I'm taking a part or a fraction of z and still end up with 225, then that tells me that z has to be more than 225. So I know it has to be 405. If I wanted to do the work, I could do that also. So it's 5/9 z equals 225. Since z is being multiplied here, to undo it, I need to divide by 5/9, which we know is really 5/9 divided into 5/9. How many would be in each one? It would be And again, instead of flipping the second fraction and multiplying, this would really be 5/9. These are the same denominator, so it's just like what's 5 elephants divided by 5 elephants? What's 6 ducks divided into groups of 6 ducks? So 5/9 divided into 5/9 would be 1. Z equals, so over here I need to do 225 divided by 5/9. So on this one, I need to do 225. Need to divide? Please don't cry. Just flip the second fraction and multiply. So on this one, I'm going to cross cancel to make my numbers a little smaller. So 5 divided by 5 is 1. 225 divided by 5 is 45. So now I have 45 times 9. So 40 times 9 is going to be 360. 5 times 9 is going to be 45. So that gets me my, that gets me my 405. That is I love technology. Have I mentioned that recently? 405, which is one of our options over here. So again, that is how 405. But ideally, it would be more logic thinking through these split decisions. 5/9 or a part of z is 225. That means z has to be bigger than 225. I could check that work by doing 5/9 times 45. Remember, we can always check equations by plugging in our answers. So 5/9 times 45. I'm going to cross cancel these to make my numbers smaller. 9 divided by 9, not 45, 405. Sorry, I was like, wait a second. So 9, and I know I can divide 405 because of the digital root. 4 plus 5 is 9, so I know that I can divide it. So this is 1. This would be 4. $45, right? So then 5 times 45, 5 groups of 5 is 25, 5 groups of 40 is 200. So 200 plus 25 is 225. So that checks out. Whoa, that's a lot of 2's. That checks out that it was the correct answer. All right, let's look at fill in the blank here. So this, for each problem, use the numbers from the blank to make the statement correct. So Kathy had 8 times as many apples as Jason. After Jason picked more apples, Kathy had blank times as many apples as Jason. Jason had blank apples to start. So again, I just start with that picture with the tape diagram. Those are so handy. So she has 8 times as many. So here's 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then here's his 1. Okay? So here's Jason. Here's Kathy. He's going to pick some apples. She's going to have blank times as many apples as Jason. And then Jason had blank apples to start. So this is just another one of those thinking through it. If she's going to have blank times as many as him, she's starting as 8 times. If he picks more apples and she doesn't, can she have 12 times as many as him after he picks apples? No. Can she have 36 times as many as him after he picks more apples? No. So that tells me that the 2 is 2 times as many as what she's going to have. So then I think about, okay, well, if he picked, now I just kind of guess and check. If he picked 12 more apples, that means he would have started with 36 apples. Okay, because the 3 parts up there, the 2, the 12, and 36, one of them's going to be how many more apples he eats. One of them's going to be how many times as many, which we know has to be 2. So now we're just plugging in 12 and 36 into these parts. So that's where our tape diagram comes in handy, because if he picked 36 originally, that means she picked 8 times as many as that. So that would be 36 times 8. So we have our 48 there. 3 times 8 is 24, plus 4 is 288. So then if he had 12 more, 36 plus 12 is 48. 48 times 2 does not equal 288. So that one wouldn't work. So then we check, what if he would have started with 12 apples? So if he starts here with 12 apples, that means she had 12 times 8 amount of apples. So 12 times 8 is, I should know this off the top of my head, 96. I knew it. I did know it. If she had 96 and then he picked 36 more, so then I kind of, now that the more I've done this, 36 is really 3 more 12s, right? Because here's 12, here's 12, here's 12. So there's 36 more. So now he has 4 of the 12 boxes. She has 8. That is 2 times more. So now we figured it out. Jason picked 36 more apples. Kathy had 2 times as many apples as Jason, and Jason had 12 apples to start with. It is strangely fun once it comes together and you figure out and you find some new tricks. I hope you feel the same way. Let's try Shauna's here. Shauna had 15 times as many stamps as Vern. So again, I like those tape diagrams to kind of give me that visual. Even if I don't use it completely, at least I can start there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. As Vern, so here's poor Vern. After Vern bought blank more stamps, Shauna had blank times as many stamps as Vern. Vern had blank stamps to start. So again, if Vern is the only one that is buying more stamps and Shauna's not, the percentage, or sorry, the times as much that Shauna's having is going to always get smaller because she's not adding any more. So it's not like we can multiply by bigger numbers. It's not like all of a sudden she's going to have 30 times as many or 20 times as many or 80 times as many. So we know that this has to be 3 times as many. So we know that block. So then we have 20 and 80. So after Vern bought, and I'm thinking about that last one, thinking about in those boxes, if Vern started with 20 and then bought 80 more, 80 would be 20, 40, 60, 80 more. So that is 5 boxes compared to Shauna's 15 boxes. 5 times 3 is 15. So now that I have that strategy of thinking about, okay, break those 20s into those actual boxes and compare them up there, that really helps. So now I've solved this one already. Vern bought 80 more stamps. Shauna had 3 times as many. Vern had 20 stamps to start with. Let's see if it works on the next one. Amy had 10 times as much money as Brandon. So here's Amy, here's Brandon. Amy has 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Brandon has 1. So we know that Amy needs 2 times as many because, again, it's not going to be 12 or 50. Hopefully you understand that part. That's should be pretty simple to figure out. So I'm looking at 12 and 50. Oh, and it's Brandon had blank 50 to start. So it's either 12.50 to start or 50.50 to start. So we know it needs to be 2 times as many. So we have 10 boxes up here. So I know I need 4 more boxes here in order to get half as much. So I'm thinking if she started with 12.50 and then got 50 more, 50 divided into 12.50s would be 12, 12, 12. That's 48. And then if there's 50 here, that's 49. 50 here, 50 here, that's 50. So then there would be 12.50 in each of those because 50, the number bond with 12.50s would be 4 of those. So those are 4 boxes there. So now I know that Brandon earned $50 more. That's those 4 boxes right there. Amy had 2 times as much money as Brandon. Brandon started with $12.50. So these Wordy Wednesdays are tough. Oh, more or less. I didn't see this one. All right, this will be video 4.